welcome my gentlemen, and then we can introduce the topics for discussions today. Mr. Philip London Safanyina is a land economist and a member of the ruling NPP. Safanyina, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, by God's grace, I'm doing okay.
We thank God. We bless God. And lawyer Openyi Kwame Jantua is a legal practitioner and the political affairs director of the CPP. Chairman of the CPP. Openyi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm breathing.
It's good to have life, like we always say. So today we're going to look into some matters of education because the Ghana National Association of Teachers are angry with the GES over the suspension of one of their members, the headmaster of Kanasco and the senior housemaster of Kanasco, over what we've reported already in the week, students who were reportedly made to sleep in toilet cubicles. So the GES has interdicted the headmaster and the senior housemaster, but the NAT says that they are angry with that one and they don't think that they have been treated fairly. The headmaster and the senior housemaster have been treated fairly, so they should be made to go back to their post until investigations are concluded. We'll look into that matter. And then some 95 luxury cars which have been frozen by Yoko. We understand that those cars were stolen, or they were stolen cars from the US and Canada. And then also talk about the vaccine plan that has been, commissioned, that is yet to be constructed by Ghana. Yesterday, the president cut short for the construction of that vaccine plan, $5 million, we understand. We'll look into how positive that will be for us, and then also look at what the others, including some, including the pensioners, are calling that they are not ready for the second round and of the DDEP, which we are hearing. The minister is hinting that there could be a second round of domestic debt restructuring, but the volunteers are angry and they are not ready to barge into that. We look into all those discussions on the program, and then also activate the phone line for you to also join in the conversation. But let me say a very big thank you to Yoga Fresh. And Yoga Fresh is one of the probiotic yogurt products you can get on the market. It comes in different flavors. They have the strawberry and the vanilla, strawberry wheat, vanilla wheat, banana, pineapple, and Greek flavor. You can buy a bottle of Yoga Fresh from all Mecom shops or other fuel stations across the country, and also in Marina malls. Awake Purified Drinking Water is One for Life says purchase a bottle of Awake Purified Drinking Water and donate to a good cause by donating to the National Cardiothoracic Center of all the hospitals across the nation. So save a life by buying a bottle of Awake Purified Drinking Water. Eclipse Collateral Management and Advisory Services is asking you whether you've registered your landed property with the Lands Commission and have got your land title certificate yet. If you have that, then it means that there's good news for you, because your land title certificate can income in a risk-free environment on a yearly basis. So pick your land title certificate and find Eclipse Collateral Management and Advisory Services at a Denton Barrier, close to the Medimosis Hospital and beside the West African Senior High School. Call them on this number 0543 832 466 0543 832 466. The May Day Games and Business Fair is here again, and it's happening at the Elwak Sports Stadium on Sunday and Monday of May. And there will be live performance from Samini, and there will also be a local food bazaar, games, and other interesting activities. Secure your stand and buy your exclusive souvenirs now to commemorate this special event. If you're interested in buying a stand at the May Day Games, which is happening at the Elwak Sports Stadium, you call these numbers 0243 156 736 0243 156 736 or 0244 013 486 0244 013 486. You can as well visit the front desk of TV Africa if you want to get further information. I'll tell you about the rest, but let's get into the discussions. Let's start from what's happening at the Ganasco in Tamale, where the Ghana National Association of Teachers are against the suspension of the headmaster, Mr. Douglas Haruna Yakubu, and his senior housemaster. Let me begin the conversation with you. For the actions taken by the GS, was in the right direction, or they are already claiming judgment on the case even before investigations.
Good morning to our viewers.
Mm.
Philip, good morning, and
Good morning.
to your good self.
Good morning. Epona.
Is the story true
That
that students were sleeping in the toilets?
yes. Richie, if you have that video, let's see the video of
Have
that.
we did I haven't watched the video,
Mm.
so you'd have to.
Yes, I'll show you that video.
Were they beds in the toilets? Were they huge rooms? Were they small cubicles? If there were beds, how many beds went in there?
Mm.
What I'm hearing is that it is something that the students normally do, where they would leave their chop boxes and their trunks
Mm.
in the toilet when they go on holidays.
Mm.
So I'm not sure whether the journalists found students sleeping in the toilet room.
It appeared students were sleeping there because
Yeah.
we know that they say they keep their chop box and trunks there, but there were mattresses, there were uniforms and other materials there. Richie, if that video is ready, so that you can.
You
So that's the video on the screen. This is the but it's not a use. It's never been used. The facility has never been used as toilet. They understand it's a fresh building, which is earmarked for a toilet facility. So you see, there's no toilet facility in there. And so that's it. So you find mattresses, and it appears some students sneak to go and sleep there. I don't know if it's the school that has allowed them, or students find their way to go and sleep there.
So investigations haven't taken place.
Mm.
You find students' mattresses in a facility like that.
Mm.
There are no toilet rooms there. Students do all kinds of things. I went to a boys' school. Did all kinds of things. Sometimes common room. You take your mattress, go and sleep in common room.
Mm.
So really and truly, is it the school that you should that you should interdict? Is it the headmaster you should interdict? Okay, you have a senior housemaster, you have a housemaster. By the way, were there students in the school at the time, or they
Yes.
were on holiday?
There were students in there.
Yes. So sometimes where you sleep, you might not even have a mosquito net.
Mm.
You might feel hot. You might feel
But to go and sleep in a toilet facility.
There are no toilet facilities there. Did you see a toilet there?
This.
Did you see a toilet there?
Oh.
Is there a toilet shank in the place there?
Mhm.
Did you see one there?
No.
The pictures that were shown. Have you seen a toilet shank in there?
So why then do you
It
punish
it
the
it is
headmaster
it
before
it it
investigation
it it is a room that is going to be used,
Mm.
hopefully, for toilets. There are no toilets in there, so it's an empty room.
Mhm.
Students will do whatever they want to do. Maybe you'll say it's up to the senior housemaster to make sure that such things don't happen. But they are boys.
Mm.
Does this need interdiction? Huh? Tell me, how much does the GS owe the schools today? Their capitation grants.
Mm.
Has it been paid for the last 2 years? Isn't that more important than this frivolous thing? It would have been something different for me if there were toilets in there and they were in the toilets and there were people's mattresses there. Maybe it's an empty room.
Mm.
Are there any toilets in there? The film that showed
From what we see,
it's an empty room, isn't it?
Mhm.
So you see people's their mattresses there. Why should this be a headline thing that we are discussing?
Mm.
For me, the GES, it was a knee-jerk reaction. They should have done the investigation first before interdicting anyone.
Mm.
Have they done the investigation? The investigation is ongoing.
Yeah, it's ongoing.
So they will go there and they will see chop boxes, mattresses, and trunks there, and they will assume that it's been given out for what you call. And the school says they have nearly 300 spaces
yeah.
for students.
Even GS, I mean, made that point.
So what is this? Please, I beg you.
Safino, do you also feel the headmaster and his assistants, his senior housemaster, have been unfairly treated with their
I
employees?
regret, first of all, good morning.
Mm.
Good morning,
Morning.
Kwame.
Morning.
And, you know, sometimes when I want to talk about serious things and these matters come up, I have to pray to the Almighty to keep me, you know.
In check.
I mean, this, if I was a parent with my son in that school, I would feel it's an insult to the integrity of my child or ward that they are sleeping in a toilet. It's not a toilet, it's a cubicle that is supposed to become a toilet. It is being used as a box room. There are mattresses nearby. Some boys have hanged some shirts close by, and some even study nearby. Does this make it a dormitory? Does it make it a dormitory? I mean, you see, the news that has come, and the way we are also funding the news, this has been discussed and discussed and discussed, and we've come out here again, we're discussing it again.
What about it was reported?
No, if it's discussing, if it has been discussed, it has been reported. I think the report is a bit of a sham.
Yes.
Sensational. I'm very sorry. It is disgracing all of us as Ghanaians. That our students, yes, our senior high school system is having challenges. There's no doubt about it. But that doesn't mean that if you find a situation where there's a cubicle that is meant to be a toilet, it's not being commissioned as a toilet, and some boys use it for convenience of a box room and are keeping their boxes there, and there are some mattresses nearby. In Adisada, we had what we call the geography room. In those days, it was a Form 4 block, and there was this room specific for geography. We had all the maps and globes and atlases and physical features. We had everything there. At a point, some of us because we're studying so late, we were sleeping there. We had mattresses there. It wasn't a dormitory. We were sleeping there. So somebody comes around, takes pictures, and says, "Adisada is where people sleep here." Look, there are schools in dire situations. Yes, I agree. We've had schools under trees. The government is doing everything possible to increase infrastructure. We have what do you call it? Schools going on what the alternate, So there's an infrastructural gap, and the government is trying hard to meet up, because in as much as they are improving the infrastructure, the student populations are increasing because we're getting more students, and so it's a But listen to the headmaster and the other staff of the school. The school is not in deficit when it comes to sleeping space for the children. So why this? Why this? And did anybody bother to inquire from the authorities what it was? And then it becomes, when the regional minister spoke and the alumni spoke, then what they said becomes the issue, and they're trying to turn it political and stuff like that. It is. I find it most regrettable, honestly. This is something that nobody wants their child to sleep in a toilet. Nobody. No headmaster in this Ghana will let anybody's child or ward sleep in the toilet. No headmaster will do that.
Do you expect the GS to be apologizing to them?
I expect the GS to handle this thing better than the way they're handling it. Because it's not helping anybody. It's not helping us. You see? And I'm telling you, some of the headmasters, they are under very trying conditions, because the children population is so massive. The boys are, and the students are also, they are adolescents, they are also up to all kinds of, people are studying, there are uncompleted buildings in schools where students go and hide and study, because they want some peace and quiet to be able to study. They have their discussion groups and places like that. These things happen. So this type of action, I am not happy at all, honestly. And frankly, I think an investigation is being conducted. Let's allow them to do the investigation, say 2 weeks. And then when they come out, then we speak to it. But to still be going on about this matter is not...
Dennis, tell me, you're a journalist. Do you have a journalistic code?
You do.
And what does that code say? How does it direct you in getting information? The media is part of our problems. Media, you people, you are part of our problems. So you go and see something like this, just because you want to sensationalize it, you bring it out as students sleeping in a toilet. Have you done your investigation?
The place is not even a toilet.
And then you interview the headmaster. The journalists interview the headmaster. The headmaster told you that they have enough places for students, and then you go and put out this story. And you have an association, don't you? Yeah. They sit back and they don't sanction the journalists. And this thing is going on Ghana Web. Everybody reads Ghana Web in the world. The Ghanaian students are sleeping in toilets. Come on. You're part and parcel of the problem.
Also be acting on.
Forget GS.
It's all part of the sensationalism.
It's media.
It's all sensationalism.
It's media.
You are carrying this story, carrying it and talking about it all the time. Then somebody in desperation has to act. This is a matter. Look,
Well, I wouldn't want to hold brief for
and then we talk about it, keep talking about it, keep talking.
You know, I don't want to go there, but I heard on another network this gentleman was being interviewed. Look, he himself didn't know what he was talking about. They were asking him simple
He was
questions.
pussyfooting around.
You know, I don't want to go there because there's an investigation going on.
Please.
You just take a camera, whether it was a phone or whatever he was holding, when they film this thing, and go and make sensation. He was being interviewed.
It's wrong.
He being asked simple questions.
It's wrong.
Was the place being used as a toilet? How many boys were there? How many students were there? What time of day was it? Were they under compulsion to sleep there? The mattresses that were there, were they mattresses that people were sleeping on? Was it their dwelling place? He couldn't answer.
Most importantly, were there
So if somebody comes to
there?
TV Africa and sees your storeroom, and the storeroom is there, and there are desks there in the storeroom, and there are whatever, then somebody says that's somebody's office. Is that what you, please, let us.
You have to be very circumspect in the kind of news you bring out media. You have to be.
We have
Because
serious
it's not-
problems
it's
in
not-
this country.
It's
Not
not
this.
right. It goes out into the world, and you know the
Anyway.
headlines that I said, you know, doesn't portray the country well.
And someone has been punished as a result of this. We are waiting for the 2-week period that the GS has given for investigation to be concluded, and then maybe we can find a solution to this. But let's move on and then talk about what's happening somewhere in media in Ga West Municipality, where the president yesterday cut salt for 5 million manufacturing factory in the area. It's going to be a private-led, manufacturing plants. They're partnering with the government, and opinion, we were in a situation during the COVID time where these discussions started. Cropped up about we getting our own manufacturing plants for vaccines. And so this is where we are now. It's expected to be completed in 2024. How does this come to you?
It's well overdue. It's well overdue, and it's 3 countries in Africa, isn't it?
Yes.
Ghana, Rwanda, and Senegal. It's well overdue, and I think it's a good thing that we can rely on ourselves. The thing is that once we build it and we are producing, is it going to turn political? This is health matters. It's a good thing that we're doing it. Let's do it on time. We don't know what other pandemic is round the corner. And we should be able, if for nothing at all, I understand there's now a malaria vaccine, and the trials have started in Ghana.
From India.
Yeah.
The vaccine from India.
There's India and I think United States. I think they have collaborated.
United Kingdom,
Oxford, yes. They've collaborated in bringing the vaccine out, and Ghana has accepted it, and we've started using it. Yes, it's fine. Let's find vaccines for other ailments that are killing our people today. I think it's a good thing. It is something that we should applaud, and hopefully by 2024 we will be manufacturing our own vaccines. It puts Ghana in a very central position on the continent where health is concerned. And let's not use lack of raw materials and all that kind of thing in terms of laboratories, machines and all that kind of thing. The maintenance of that vaccine establishment should be top-notch, so at any given time we are ready to confront any kind of pandemic that comes in. First of all, malaria is one thing that is killing a lot of our children. We should link up with Oxford and the Indians to see how we can also add value to the malaria vaccine that has come out. But I think it's a good thing.
So, it's a good thing, man, but he believes that it's been long overdue. You also think so?
Yes, it's true. It's long overdue. But then there are also reasons why some of these things, unfortunately, have delayed. There's a lot of heavy investment that goes into these type of ventures. It's not just the $5 million that is going to be used to set it up. There's a lot, much more money that's going to go into the research that supports it, the equipment that goes into it, and a lot goes into this type of program. The cost of monitoring to ensure that not just the products meet the necessary efficacy but then the distribution, you don't have any problems in other areas where it goes. It's a massive program. And this thing doesn't start by the government opening a factory. There was a Professor Frimpong Boateng led a committee that led to the establishment of the
National Vaccine Institute.
National Vaccine Institute. And the National Vaccine Institute is helping to the development of vaccine. I mean, it's a whole program. I mean, we can't go. It's a massive program, and this project has now come on, and the President, His Excellency, has cut the sword. Thankfully, it's not just this type of project. It's not like you said, the political issue. No, or was it Kwame who said so? I can't remember. Yes, it's not going to be like a state-owned enterprise where politics can come in and one government comes, sacks everybody, and brings another group of people. No. These type of institutions have a very heavy governance from WHO and other international agencies to ensure that the people managing it, the processes and everything is up to scratch. So it's not one of those things that can be meddled with by politicians. So I think
we know that the National Vaccine Institute, for instance, can went onto the board of this plant, a manufacturing plant.
Yes.
So that could also
manufacturing plant is not state owned.
Yes.
So and there's some government interest there. So Vaccine Institute also trying to ensure efficacy will ensure that the quality of people who go there are up to scratch. That is where it comes in.
But the Vaccine Institute can be politicized, can't it?
You can say it that way. You can say it that way, even if it's the people who will be there, if they don't match international standards, they won't be there. They can't just get up and appoint you or me or anybody there simply because they are political associates. That's the difference. So it's not a matter of political appointees. It's not in that spirit at all. And we shouldn't, for 1 second, let people begin to think that that's the kind of thing that will happen with these type of, establishments. So yes, like you said, better
late than never.
Better late than never is long overdue. But at least now we're having collaboration, very active collaboration among African countries in solving our problems. This has been actively done with Senegal and Rwanda. The vaccines are going to be manufactured are not just for Ghanaians or Senegalese and Rwandese. It's going to feed the rest of the continent. Because, the process for this thing started some time back. But COVID has taught us that because in the past, our own limitations, we don't have money, our markets are small, we cannot afford, then we are at the mercy of those bigger countries, pharmaceutical organizations that have the capacity. So we have to come together and work together. And that's what happened. There are similar things happening in South Africa and other African countries. Because we have woken up to the issue that, not that we have woken up, we knew it. But the urgency has now become even more apparent. You see.
That's why we're woken up to it.
We knew it was there. But, well, okay, but if you choose that word, which I mistakenly used.
You can't mistakenly use it, Philip.
So anyway,
what you were saying is true.
Anyway, so
woken up to it.
So whatever it is, we are doing it now, better late than never. And not only are we are doing vaccines for various. The research institute is going to work on. For example, let me also congratulate the chief executive and her team at Food and Drugs Board.
FDA, yes.
Yes. Let me congratulate them.
Fantastic work.
This malaria product that is being manufactured in Ghana, you see, it's credit to us. For you to be chosen and approved to do this, you must meet. And we are the only country in the world that is actually doing this. So, yes, as part of 1D1F, we're always looking at the pharmaceutical business as being a major hub. Many of our pharmaceutical industries have expanded, in the recent few years, thanks to 1D1F. So they will be able to live. And I think all these things is coming together to help establish Ghana as a major pharmaceutical industry provider. So it's good news. It's late in the day, but it has been work in progress, and I'm grateful. I'm thankful that we are here, and I commend His Excellency the President and all the team, Professor Frimpong and all of them.
Philip, this is not a 1D1F project, so don't make it look. Wait, don't make it look like that. But another thing I want to say is that the head of FDA, Madam Mimi Dakum, has done fantastic work with regards to working with Rwanda, and they highly respect the FDA in Ghana for the work they are doing in Rwanda. These are some of the things that should come out for people to see that we are also trying our possible best to work together in Africa. Isn't this project better than National Cathedral? Philip said we don't have money, but we have money to do National Cathedral. These are some of the projects. And you see,
this is better than the National Cathedral.
Yes, it's better. Do you know the number of lives it's going to save? Where church is concerned, we have churches in Ghana.
I was also going to increase tourism.
Wait.
The government says.
We have churches in Ghana. Churches in Ghana, and God lives within us. But these are some things God would applaud us for. Applaud us for. Do you know what this vaccine is going to do? And one of the things that sometimes irks me, when you look at the pharmaceutical industry and even this vaccine industry, quite a huge percentage of sugar is used in manufacturing these drugs. What have we done to the sugar factory that we brought up? And this is how some of the politics can infiltrate those raw materials and feedstocks that we need to get things moving. That is what we should, together as a country, make sure those things are available. Not that they've started, then they say, oh, we are short of this, we can't, so we have to import. No, let's homegrown. COVID, where we are today with our economy, has taught us a lot of lessons that we should work together as a community and as a political establishment in Africa. We are the only ones who can better our continent. We are the only ones who can better our country. And we've got to a stage where we should stop all these politics and work together to build this nation. Everybody. And you know why? The IMF. Look at what the IMF is doing. Look at what all the other countries are doing to make sure Ghana gets, a facility. You think they are doing it for nothing? They know what Ghana is on the continent. And they can't afford Ghana to fall. So they'll do anything. So Ghana is our country. We should try as much as possible to work together. Work together. Let's stop all this bickering and where you say, where Timmy, where come. Let's stop it. If we have to support the president in doing things, let's support him, and he also should vice versa do the same. Yeah, bro. 66 years.
You talk about, how some government companies have collapsed. Should we concern ourselves with that yet, with regards to this particular plant? You mentioned the Commander Sugar Factory, how we've handled it over the period. Should that conversation be coming up so soon?
The point I'm making is that we shouldn't politicize certain things that would help this nation grow. Will help this nation grow. There's so many things we've got to do that would help this nation grow. Where we see ourselves today should be that stepping stone that we are now going to realize we've got to do things together. Stop that politics. Stop it. Stop the partisanship. Partisanship has its place. Okay, come election time. The moment we elect a president, the moment we elect a government, let's put all that aside and build this nation.
Okay.
The other day, I was on another channel and I used President Akufo-Addo's term, Yetisikaso, Komdien. It's true, Yetisikaso. It's true, Yetisikaso. And what is that sika? We have gold, we have diamond, we have bauxite, we have manganese, we have lithium, we have oil. Why are we poor? And you go to other countries, go to Saudi Arabia today, do you know the quantum of gold they have? Go to India today, do you know the quantum of gold they have? Go to America today, do you know the quantum of gold? UK, the quantum of, where did they get that gold from? Doesn't part come from Ghana? Why should we be poor? Why should we be poor? We don't need 3 billion from IMF when you look at the natural resources we have. If we had added value to our gold from 19 Kojo 10, situation we find ourselves in.
Okay.
Yetisikaso, true.
Okay. Safine, I don't know if you want to respond to that, or we can go on to our next. Let's move on to.
There's nothing to respond to. You know, I'm speaking the truth.
Let's move ahead the conversation and talk some party politics now, because the IGP, following the petitions by both political parties over the insightful speech by some elements in the parties. The IGP yesterday met with the NPP and the NDC, and he has assured them of proper policing ahead of 2024 elections, and also tells them that they should do their politicking and allow the police to do their job. Safine, let me start this one from you. Last week we talked about the petition and all of that. So this is the update now, and this is how we end that particular petition. From what we pick. So the parties are satisfied now that the police have given them the assurance that there will be professional policing ahead of the 2024 elections.
Well, first of all, I wasn't at that meeting. I haven't heard reports about what happened at that. So I don't know what may have been discussed and some of the agreements and understandings that the parties came to. Parties being the New Patriotic Party leadership, National Democratic Congress leadership, and the police leadership under Inspector General of Police. So I cannot say, I can't speak to that. The good thing, however, is the fact that the Inspector General summoned them and they all responded and they've had this discussion. I believe that the fact that that occurred and they came out of the meeting and the parties all seem quite satisfied. For me, it's good news for all of us, and we should expect that spirit going forward. If there are any issues and any disagreements, any issues of misunderstanding or issues of some contention, I don't see why the parties can't come together and resolve it instead of making it escalate. What started as a statement by a member of parliament at a function in his constituency had all kinds of effects. And other people from the other parties started saying things. Petitions were being made, one against the other, etc. And that's how some of these things start. In the end, you never know how it will end. It's a good thing that the parties themselves have seen the wisdom in coming together. I appreciate the Inspector General inviting them and also coming to an agreement. So I think it's a lesson for all of us. We all know NDC, MPP, citizens of Ghana. Everybody knows that we don't want any confusion in this country. We want our peace. We want to be able to go in our development. Where we disagree, we want to be able to sit down and sort it out, without any rancor or without any, So those are the main things. And so for me, it's a good thing that happened. We should learn from it, and the political parties too should be more vigilant on their members. The situation where somebody says something that, generally in the course of politics, we are now going into elections. The NDC have their internal elections, MPP have their internal elections. So we are in election season. After that cycle, we head towards a national election. So from now to 2024 December, we are going to be in election cycles across this country. All the constituencies, all the regions, and at the national level, all the parties. I haven't heard CPP when they are doing their elections, but I know they'll be doing their elections. So this advice, although the Inspector General called MPP and DC, I hope the CPP are taking advice from it. So they don't go through blows. I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to the CPP. And all the other political parties. And all the political parties. I'm not addressing him. I'm addressing all the political parties. So the fingers should not be pointed at MPP and DC alone. She pointed at everybody.
But we've not heard insightful comments from parties like the
fact
CPP.
that we have not heard doesn't mean that we're going into election cycles. NDC has myriad of elections going on. There are going, so many people are contesting in various constituencies. And we are hearing some of the grumblings and some of the issues on the ground. It happens. That's for parliamentary. Then they are going to go into flag bearership. You know, all the issues. Likewise, the New Patriotic Party. You know, we are going to go into elections, orphan constituencies, constituencies with certain MPs. Then we are going to go into the flag bearership. After that, then we are heading to the national. So I'm saying that from now on, we are in the election mode across Ghana. You see, so this advice should go to all of us. And what I'm saying is that political parties, if one of our members says something that we ourselves realize this man, what he's saying is all right, we should be man enough to call him to order. Say, my friend, don't talk like this. Is that what you meant to say?
We don't do that. Everyone will support.
No, we should move to another level. You see, it doesn't take anything away from you if your own person says something that is not right. It doesn't take anything away from you. Call the man and say, oh, my friend, do you know that what you said, this is how some people are seeing? Oh, is that so? But I just made a simple statement. Say, well, these people here, this is how they see it. And you quickly come out and say, oh, my friends, this is not what I meant. And this exactly is what I said. If you feel offended, I'm sorry. I didn't intend to offend you. We move on. That's how we run this country. But when somebody says something and everybody says, then this person starts saying, this person too said it last year, this person said, my friend.
Equalization and justification.
It doesn't help us.
Opinion, what's the real lesson from this meeting, and after all what was condemned? What's the lesson for us going forward?
You know, on another channel, I said this was a Kukwanansi meeting. Yes.
Why? You expected something?
I expected the police to crack the whip to all politicians.
You don't have the balls to do that too.
I don't know
like
whether
the
they have the
politicians.
balls. What does the what do you call it? The Constitution say? When you go to the bit on the police, it says their responsibility is to keep law and order. Should crack the whip. Should have told them, you step out of line, we will deal with you. Simple, straightforward. When you look at the pictures at the meeting, both what do you call it? The chairman of the
General Secretary,
of the MPP, General Secretary of the NDC, the chairman, they were all laughing and hobnobbing together. What are they trying to tell us? What are they trying to tell
maybe
us?
they are smoking the peace pipe.
Please.
So what you wanted to see was that you wanted to see
That was not
everybody
what
frowning his face.
that was not what I
People-
want.
people
No.
threatening each other. Is that what you
Don't-
wanted to see?
You are not in my mind. Let me tell you
That's
what
what I'm asking you. I
No,
was not
that
in
is
your
not what
mind.
I wanted to see. If you know you can hobnob and you can greet and you can laugh with others, don't make such statements. Don't make such statements. If you know you can sit, I can sit with Philip. I've made statements, but I can come and then hobnob with him. I shouldn't make those statements when I go out there and weaponize our elections. And that is what I expected the police to do, to crack the whip. Warn them. Tell them that we are not going to entertain any of you, be it flag bearer, be it president, be it vice president, be it running mate, be it anybody. We will take you on and crack the whip and refer them to the laws that allow them to crack the whip. You think this will stop? Do you think this meeting that they've had will stop the comments? We are into election
But
season.
would it not help improve the situation?
But there was
Will
no
it?
show of regret in it.
Will
I
it?
mean, we didn't.
Have they apologized to
Yes,
Ghanaians?
I mean, apologies or regret from.
So
from
they've
you.
met the police. The best thing they could do, we've met the police, we apologize to Ghanaians for the statements we made, we move on. Have they? Mark it somewhere. Mark it on this table, whether it will stop. Whether it will stop. And the police says, they brought out, is it a 17 list of things that they are doing. And some of the things that are quite interesting are the strategies of the secretariat and the legal team
For elections.
for elections. They started it early. Can it bite? Can it bite? Because for me, it makes it look as if they are mollycoddling the politicians. I didn't even expect the IGP to invite them. I expected the IGP to visit every political party and warn them. Go to MPP, go to NDC, go to CPP, go to PNC, all of them, go to them, warn them, lay the law. That's what I expected. You think it will stop?
No,
So what are the levels? What are the levels? If right now my good friend, I've known for years, kind of a family member, Alan Chematin, which is his candidate.
Yes, speaking for him.
Yes, speaking for him. If he goes and he says something untoward, and then he, Philip, also goes somewhere and says something untoward, who will they catch first? Are they going to catch Honorable Chematin, or they'll come to Philip first for what he said? If the president, if the running mates of any of the political parties, the flag bearers, go and say something untoward, and their people also say something untoward, will they go and will they go and arrest the flag bearer, or will they go and caution the president?
Then how do we crack the whip?
And this is the point I'm making.
Please, I'll come to you.
And this is the point I'm making. Even if the IGP decides to go and sit with the president, he's not running again, but he will be in the thick of campaigning for his preferred candidate. You tell him, Mr. President, I've come because ABCDE is happening, and I want your assurance that you'd make sure that the MPP does not follow that trajectory. He goes to Mahama, he goes, so that the people see you are working for us. People see you are working for us. You're a police service. You're a police service. You are the IGP. You have the power. That is what I expected. So let's see going forward.
But, there's also wisdom in inviting the two parties together to a meeting. You see, in situations like this where there's so much suspicion, when you call one party and talk to them and go and talk to the other party, one party may not be too sure what you said to the other one when you met them.
Philip, hasn't the NDC complained?
So
Yes,
when you
didn't they
call
complain?
them together and you talk to them, at least on your part, you have demonstrated,
No, they are the police. They are the police.
It is also part. It is
They are
also
the police.
They
Power
have
is in their hands.
Well, they have
And
that
they
choice, and this is the
enforce
choice
the
they
law.
took. And so far as I'm concerned,
They
there was nothing
enforce
wrong with
the
that. It
law.
was good. They are enforcing the law.
But do you also agree
Enforcing the
that
law
they
does
should
not
try-
necessarily
yes.
mean that you should. I mean,
should
there are various ways
arrest.
of managing the situation. There was a terrible demonstration some years ago. I don't want to even go there. By the NDC, where some of them came armed to the Electoral Commission. The police were there. They made no arrests. The Inspector General was there. He spoke to them. And the way he spoke to them, the then Inspector General, with his commanders, they spoke to the crowd and virtually disarmed them in the way they spoke. They didn't
That
arrest
is the
anybody.
crowd.
No! The police
That is
should
the
manage every
crowd.
situation. Every situation comes with its own peculiar
How many
character.
people died in the last election?
No.
How many people died in the last
That is not what we are
election?
talking. We are talking
It
about.
is part and parcel of it.
It is not.
It's
What it
weaponizing
is-
the elections.
The police have handled this case.
Weaponizing
We are the
elections
new
with their comments.
Inspector General, and he is handling this matter. They have done things. They brought down the tension. They brought the political
He's-
parties to
he-
book.
he-
And we are moving on.
Let's
we should commend
see.
them. At least I will commend them
Let's
for that.
see.
Well, if you don't have confidence in
Let's
that
see.
and you don't believe it's
I
going
don't
to work,
say I
that's
have
you.
confidence. I don't have
And
confidence.
number two,
It will happen
let
again.
Let me also state for a fact, for the avoidance of doubt. My friend here was saying that, and when this
I have a
man-
name.
Okay, Mr.
And I've known you since childhood.
Mr. Jantua, who is not my friend.
Today you're denouncing him.
No,
Don't mind
no.
him.
Mr. Jantua was saying, he mentioned names. He said if Mr. Alan Chematin goes and talks, says this, and you, Philip, you go and say this, for the avoidance of doubt and for the record,
Please put me in the right context.
for the avoidance
Put me in
of
the right
doubt,
context.
I can tell you, Mr. Alan Chematin will never go and stand anywhere and make any type of such provocative statement. He will never. I know him well. He won't. Yes, he has very strong political views. He has very determined
So
political
who
will.
So who will?
Does it come with character
who
of the
will?
person, or how
A
does
lot of
someone
it
go
has to
about
do with
it?
the
So
a
who
lot
will?
of it-
So who will?
Some people under pressure may
Like
say
who?
things.
So he can also fall under the same pressure.
We are
And
human.
I'm saying that he will not.
We are human.
There are people who look. There are some people put a gun to their head. There are some people provoke them as much as they don't know how to manage themselves. They are human. They have a temper. They have the capacity to give you a blow to break off your head. but they have a way of managing situations. There are people like that. You know, I will not stand anywhere and insult anybody. Yes, I have lost my temper before on a platform like this. I once lost my temper very badly. I thank God that day that things didn't get worse. They were in those days 2 young men. Today they are big men somewhere. They were using statements about that. Then flag bearer Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And I wasn't going to take it. And it got so bad.
So why weren't you patient?
But Debbie, but it is because of we are human.
So you can also be caught in the heat of the moment. Anyone can be caught in that
also
moment.
did not make any statement. And there were many people who commended me for that on that day. So upon all these things people said, but I made sure that I addressed everything they were saying. My choice of words were devoid of insults.
That is you.
And I'm saying there are people like that. You mentioned my name, you mentioned Mr. Honorable Alan Chemajin's name, and I'm giving you those two as examples.
I didn't say you do it too. I just gave an example.
That's what I'm saying, for avoidance of doubt.
Put it in context.
That's why I said, for the avoidance of doubt. You mentioned my name. So for the avoidance of doubt, you
like
use me
people
as
like
an example.
you.
Somebody hearing it for the avoidance of doubt. I made that point. That's what it is.
But I mean,
you know, Dennis. The most dangerous thing is the fact that we have a lot of small arms in the system. We have a lot of small arms in the system, and somebody who wants to cause commotion would hang on these types of words and cause commotion. That is the weaponizing of our elections. The comments that we make.
The meeting by the Inspector General is to prevent these things.
Although this meeting has gone on,
Oh no.
should you not be causing these parties to be engaging in sensitization program at least? What they
Exactly.
said
Together,
yes,
together.
What they said to the people, they are not coming back to tell them anything.
Finished, what did the NDC statement? What did they say afterwards? What did they say afterwards? Show it. What did they comments they made afterwards? It's only an election. It's only an election, which is for a certain duration of time. Is it that police has become a professional, what do you call it? So everybody wants to make sure that they kill to get there. Is that what it is? Let the best man win. And it is your policies. Some of the things that you want to do. And the people's probably affiliation and affinity to the person who is standing. Even internal politics, they said it. The police said it. Even internal politics, they found challenges with it. Internal, party internal politics, let alone national. And you what? You bring them together and judge with them. Yes, judge with them, but read them the right act and make them see that the police isn't messing about.
They said that their legal units, the new legal units and the election secretariats formed would try to check down on some of these things and make sure
give
that
them
that
the laws. Give them the laws that they would
Is that
be.
not a step in the right direction?
It's a step in the right direction, but be strong on them.
Please appreciate
Be
that.
strong on the politicians.
It will happen.
Is this the first time? Look at what happened in Parliament. January. Look what happened in Parliament. In the end, who came there? We don't want any soldiers in our elections. And if the politicians don't understand, make them understand that the law is the law and will enforce the law if you step out of line. Let them know. Why politicians feel that the country is theirs. That's what politicians feel. MPP, NDC, they feel the country is theirs. So they make those kind of comments as if the people don't matter. But you don't get into power by yourself. It's the people who put you there. So show respect to the people. And it's up to the police to enforce the law. That's what the people expect of the police.
Would you call for an apology from?
If you've gone, if the Inspector General Police has called you and you've gone and you've shaken hands and you've taken pictures together, you serve the people, not the police. You serve the people. Apologize. Both sides should apologize. If they can even have a joint press conference and apologize, it will be good. Will they do it? Will they do it? They are not higher than anybody. Nobody is higher than the law in this country. So Philip, tell them, let them apologize.
I think if you want to go and tell anybody,
It's your party.
Okay, so We'll go for a break and then we'll come back. I'll open the phone line after the break if we can, and then we can also have another conversation. Today, the Daily Dispatch, they report on something interesting, especially party politics in the NPP. Now the conversation is around Edrumiso. It's my turn. We'll look at that, and Crenda Preku is claiming that if it's about Edrumiso, then he started way back in '98. Then this should be his turn. We'll come back and look into how we can answer those questions here on the Breakfast Live. Stay with us.